Please, please.
Now, if you've ever done an MP3 or a video encoding, any kind of encoding of media, they often will say, what's the bit rate?
That's right.
We talk about 128 kilobits very frequently for MP3s or AACs, sometimes higher, sometimes lower. But what is a bit rate? Well, Andy Walker went to the store, bought some cheesecake, and is now going to explain.
Right, right.
What does cheesecake
So
have?
bitrate is actually the result of some really solid math. It's actually a very straightforward equation. I actually have it punched up here if we can pull it up. But it's basically bit depth.
Okay.
Right? And I'll explain what that is in a second using the cheesecake versus against sample rate, which is cycles per second. So
what is bit depth?
So
then?
bit depth is essentially, when you grab a piece of sound in a slice of time,
right.
It's the amount of data that you can grab, the slices of frequency, sound frequency you can get.
In terms of colors, if you have 256 bits, you have 256 colors, which is 8 bits. That's all the different colors you could do.
That's right.
With 16 bits, you can do 2 million colors. So it's the same thing. You have 2 million frequencies that you could represent of audio.
And so the way I would illustrate this is, let's say the spoon is 16-bit. It's a 16-bit bit depth.
That's a 16-bit spoon.
So we're going to actually get, I'm going to grab some
16 bits of cheesecake.
16 bits of cheesecake. Would you like some?
That's as big as it can get. I'd love some, actually.
Very tasty.
All right.
Now, of course, if you want to do a bigger sample rate,
right, we need a bigger spoon.
We need a bigger spoon, right? So that would be 24 bits.
24 bits.
24, right? So
this was 65,000 possibilities.
Yeah, possibilities.
This is 16 million?
Yeah, 16 million, 16.7 million.
So I need to fill this spoon, though.
Exactly, please do.
Okay.
All right.
Callie, come here.
So there you go.
I'm not eating this one. We're going to get the skinny kid to do this. You have to eat the big one. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh my gosh, my mouth's not too big.
Callie. Go, Callie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
Just cheesecake hog.
She practically took my arm off. Wow. You're a good eater, girl.
Atta girl. We got lots of cheesecake
more and more
Absolutely.
all the time.
All right. So now we know. So in a slice of time now, we know we can actually grab 16 bits.
Joke on that.
She got cheesecake coming out of her nose.
Out of her ears.
Or 24 bits, right?
Okay,
and we can actually go up. We can go higher, right?
You could go higher.
We can go higher. But basically,
24 is enough.
24 is enough, exactly.
Yep.
So then but because a song isn't static, right? It happens over a period of time.
So that was just one little sample.
One sample. One slice.
We have to take many samples.
Right. So that's calculated in the sample rate, and that's measured in hertz or kilohertz.
How many samples per second, basically?
Right.
Or
how many samples per second?
How many samples per second?
Actually, a hertz is how many cycles per second.
Okay.
So kilohertz would be 1,000 cycles per second.
1,000 samples per second.
1,000 samples per second. And in fact, standard audio sampling rate in, for example, an MP3 is 44.1 kilohertz, which is
44,100 samples a second.
So what's happening is, so now let's assume this is the beginning of the song right here, and this is the end of the song right here.
We're going to do 44,000
right, so we're going to go
slices. We probably do a little finer than that. But and then how many? Yeah, look at that. Okay, and then so then in that number of samples, there is 16 bits of data each sample.
Right. So that could be. So for example, remember we said this was 16 bits.
Right. Fits right in that spoon.
Perhaps.
And that's maybe this would be a 24-bit fit in that spoon.
There you go.
So the number of samples times the number of bits per sample is the bit rate.
Bit rate. Exactly.
The higher the bit rate, the bigger the file.
Bigger file. Right.
But the better the quality.
Right. There you go.
For more cheesy goodness and Andy's food demos, we've got lots of them on labrats.tv. You can also learn about his charity work at littlegeeks.org. Read up on his segment by checking out our show notes at callforhelptv.com. We'll be back with Cheesecake for All right after this. Come on, Mike. See if you can do as well as Callie did. Oh! We'll be right back.